Okay. Hello, my name is Mia Bella Rodriguez and welcome to my 2024 Senior TED Talk. Today I will be focusing on sustainability in architecture and design. To fully understand what I will be talking about, you first need to know my research question. Through this process, I researched based on the question, how can designers identify and create solutions to the barriers of sustainable design to combat the rise of carbon emissions? This is not the question I started with. I went through many processes, going through design process and looking into carbon emissions. This wasn't what I fully wanted to do, but then through my research, I realized that this is my end goal. Now, you may be thinking, Bella, why is the rise of carbon emissions so important? Well, did you know that carbon emissions need to reduce drastically by the year 2030, or else global warming will continue to rise and become an irreversible change? Now, as you can see, we have a lovely chart of the carbon emissions and the years of which it has risen. You can see multiple continents and countries on here, such as the United States, you see Asia, you see Canada all the way up at the top.
That's weird.
I know, really weird. This is a chart of the rise of carbon dioxide emissions all over the world. This chart was created by the Environmental Protection Agency, also known as the EPA. In this chart, recorded emissions start in 1990 and continue to rise up into 2018. Although it is not shown in this chart, it can be inferred that the rise of carbon emissions have yet to slow down. Greenhouse gas emissions are being trapped in the Earth's atmosphere due to the heat of the sun. This is leading to global warming and climate change. Studies from the UN have shown that the world is now warming at a faster rate than at any point in recorded history. Warmer temperatures over time are changing weather patterns and disrupting the usual balance of nature. Through my research, I focused on 4 main areas. The first is the many barriers to implementation. This can include cost, education, building codes, and the client wants and needs. Next were the solutions that can reduce carbon emissions. This can mean something as small as switching out your light bulbs to be LED because they're more low maintenance, energy efficient, and they're long lasting. Or as big as buying an electric car, which helps prevent the burning of fossil fuels, which is important to keep in mind because fossil fuels produce hazardous chemicals and greenhouse gas emissions. Then we have how buildings emit massive amounts of carbon. During the building process, most of the carbon that is emitted comes from the production of the materials that will be used in the design. For example, when creating steel and concrete to use in a building, fossil fuels are used to create the energy needed to heat the raw materials to an extremely high temperature. Lastly is how the barriers affect the designer's usage of sustainable design. Ever since I was young, I've always loved interior design and architecture. This year, I shifted my focus solely to green building, but why is that? During my junior year Link internship, I was introduced to sustainability in interior design and was shown firsthand how my mentor included environmentally friendly materials into her designs. I never knew what green interior design looked like until I shadowed Dorothy Parker, who is sitting behind you all, a local interior designer who was recently green certified. During my internship, I researched sustainable materials and companies to use in my fictional design as shown above in both of, is this the button? No, that's not the button. What
It's
is
the
that?
big middle button.
The big one.
Okay, whatever.
In a 3D model and in a mood board form. Some people may think that you need to make all these big changes to call yourself sustainable and to say you practice sustainability. However, that's not always the case. Many small steps can be taken to become more environmentally friendly. Let me elaborate on a few that I find the most interesting. As you can see, we have bamboo, some light bulbs, LED to be specific, some sustainable wood, some sustainable glass, some no VOC paint, and cork flooring. Here, we have no VOC paint. Ooh. VOC stands for volatile organic compounds, and chemicals that make up paint that do contain VOC evaporate while at room temperature. This is harmful as the chemicals contribute to pollution, which can affect both the air quality and human health negatively. All of these are examples of paint that do not contain VOC. Next we have bamboo. You may not know this, but you can use bamboo as a building material. Bamboo acts the same as wood, with the difference being that it is a grass that has a unique strong tissue that makes it strong enough to build with while also staying lightweight and flexible. Bamboo is a great material alternative if you decide to stay away from wood altogether, as it positively affects the environment. The production of bamboo also has its benefits for the earth, as it has a rapid growth rate, meaning it is much faster to grow after being harvested. It is written that bamboo has a complex root network that anchors the soil down, preventing erosion when rain or flooding occurs. It also helps the soil retain water, aiding in moisture regulation throughout the rainy and dry seasons. Bamboo also absorbs more tons of carbon dioxide than trees do due to its rapid growth rate. Although bamboo is a great alternative, it is harder to find in the United States as it is, found more in the eastern and south of the United States. And bamboo is primarily found in Asia, Africa, and South America more than it is in North America, which means that it is bad for importing materials, as that also contributes to pollution in both the water and the air. So that being said, many other countries can use bamboo as an alternative to create more sustainable buildings in their economies. For flooring, you can always use sustainable wood. Sustainable wood is defined as wood that is obtained legally and gathered in ways that protect other existing trees in the forest, as well as the waterways, wildlife, and the environment in which the wood is harvested. For wood imported from other countries, sustainability also means gathering the timber in a way that respects the rights of the indigenous people in the area. In a sustainable lumbering practice, new seedlings are planted faster than trees are removed, therefore ensuring that the forest regrow. But wait, there's wood versus wood. What does that mean? Can you guys raise your hands if you can tell the difference between these two types of wood? I got, let's see, 2, maybe 3 people. Now, keep your hand up if you knew that one of them was vinyl wood. Okay, Dorothy. Now, you may have seen both of these types of wood used in different places. However, the main difference is that one of them contains vinyl. This one right here, the prettier looking one. Vinyl is a material that contains phthalates as well as VOC. When living in a house that contains vinyl flooring, you may be exposed to the chemicals that are emitted over time, which can once again cause health issues as stated previously, including respiratory problems. This is a piece of information that I learned from Dorothy, as this is one of the main reasons she refrains from using vinyl in her work. Sustainability is important for many things, including preserving the natural resources that come with the earth, such as air and water. It has been studied that when implementing sustainable materials into a building, the materials themselves help the build emit a few to no toxicants while reducing the amount of energy that is consumed. When doing further research, I came across a blog that talks about the importance of using sustainable materials, just to see what other people thought about this idea and to see how the public thought about it. The author Nora Velasco writes many points about the benefits of using sustainable design, specifically stating that the harvesting of sustainable materials leads to far less waste than other types of materials, such as plastics, meaning less landfill waste, less energy consumption, and less impact on the environment as a whole. And then she continues to state that sustainable design is the essence of modern architectural design today. Any systems and methods that can improve health, welfare, or safety are part of the mission. Energy-saving methods to improve the life cycle of a structure are high-value goals for designers. Reducing the overall life cycle costs of a building or structure are part and parcel of this plan. While yes, it is more costly and expensive to use sustainable design, it will help the cost of the overall design in the long run, as replacement of materials will be needed less as time goes on. This leads me straight to the point of materials that should be avoided in design. As you can see, we have light bulbs and concrete and aluminum and steel. First, we're going to talk about concrete. In data that was provided by The Guardian, it was found that concrete produces 8% of carbon dioxide emissions, and the chemical reaction involved in producing concrete generates nearly 1 ton of carbon dioxide for every ton of concrete produced. A great alternative to use instead of concrete is called Ferroc, as it is carbon negative, flexible, and it is made from recycled materials, from what I have researched. Then we have incandescent light bulbs. These light bulbs are now banned, as bulbs used in a household must emit a minimum of 45 lumens per watt. Incandescent light bulbs provide only about a third of that. There is also the environmental issue of the fact that these bulbs are very low in energy efficiency, and it is stated that only 2 to 3% of the electricity powering the bulb is actually converted to visible light. The alternative for incandescent light bulbs would be the LED light bulbs, as I briefly stated before. Also included in this slide are the aluminum and steel. Aluminum is extremely harmful to humans when they are exposed to high levels of it, not only causing respiratory problems, but also neurological problems. Steel production, on the other hand, is contributing to high pollution, as it requires large amounts of coal input to produce. The type of coal that is used to produce steel is called coke coal, and when polluting the air with coke coal, naphthalene is emitted. Naphthalene is extremely toxic and can cause cancer in those who are exposed to it. When architects and designers turn away from using these essentially dangerous materials, they are contributing to helping decrease the amount of emissions our Earth is enduring. When small changes are made, little by little, a bigger impact will be shown. This is why designers should not shy away from using sustainable materials and alternatives. The health and the well-being of the client should be one of the top priorities of the designers, as well as the health of the environment around them. When shadowing Dorothy, I saw her present an idea to a client for a new sustainable fireplace. This is called the LeFew fireplace, and this was one that she had researched and found online, and she pitched the idea shortly after. This was pitched because it is a portable fireplace that burns bioethanol, which is produced by a sugar fermentation process. The bioethanol is smoke-free, meaning that there are no harmful pollutants emitted. Now, I'm using this fireplace and Dorothy as an example because this is the exact type of initiative that we need to see architects and designers using when pitching ideas and making new products and trying to implement them into their design. From what I saw when I saw her pitch this idea, Dorothy was not afraid to be possibly rejected of this idea, but she still put the idea out there instead of using a coal-burning fireplace. Climate change is real, and global warming is real. In multiple studies and articles, it is stated that the Earth is on track to reach 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit above pre-industrial levels. In order to stop the Earth from reaching that temperature, emissions need to decrease by around 45%, according to the United Nations. This is information that needs to be spread, as it is important that we as a society keep our planet alive as we bring future generations into this world. As we come out of high school, the world is now in our generation's hands, and it is up to all of us to make the change our world needs. The human civilization has affected the Earth in the most negative ways possible, and it is up to the human civilization to reverse that and change back to something that is more environmentally friendly. With current activism and initiative portrayed by the new generation of young adults, it is easy to see that with the right mindset, goals, and intentions, we will start to make this world a better place and one that our future generations can live in. Thank you.
Thank you, Bella. What was our
Some minutes.